Hello everyone watching around Australia and around the world today. We are here at Morphettville versus Walkerville at Kellett Reserve Oval. My name is Jad Goss and I'm here with Beck. Beck, how you doing?
I'm good to be here with you, Jad, and welcome back to the country. You've been overseas.
Yeah, I'm back doing commentary first time in about 4 weeks, so very keen to get back into the rhythm and back into the routine of Australia. Now looking forward to it. And brought to you today by our special sponsor Sportal. So we're here at the Kellett Reserve Oval, like I said, and we've got a special day today with the scoreboard being here for the first time, as well as this new grandstand which we are sitting in. You'll get the beautiful angle from our wonderful cameraman and the producers here to bring you today's match live on Sportal. So the angle we got here in this beautiful grandstand, like I said, is magnificent facilities here in Morphettville Park Football Club. So we just watched the B grade score. They just finished up. That was 50-63. So Walkerville, the away team, winning that one. They'll be hoping for much of the same in the A grade as well. So Beck, we're here today. A little bit cold, but lucky for us, we're undercover. But how do you think the conditions will be for the players out there?
Well, I mean, the oval's looking pretty decent. I was at Brighton last week and that was full of mud, just in awful shape. So, I mean, it's pretty green out here. There's no clouds in the sky or anything. So, if anything, it's probably just a little bit windy. But, you know, there's probably nothing to worry about in terms of the wind. In terms of the weather, so I probably jinxed it now. It'll probably start pouring with rain in a minute, but I mean the conditions quite good considering we're into July and what we saw last weekend.
Yeah, no clouds at the moment. I think they forecast rain, but hopefully that stays away. It is quite windy. I went out there and talked to the team management earlier, and it is a bit windy, so we'll see if that favours a certain team or how that plays out throughout the match. But so just looking at some of our sponsors for today's match. So thank you, of course, to Adelaide Footy League. That's who we are all playing under the league of the Adelaide Footy League. Buddy Bet, gamble responsibly. Scoreboard Sportal. So of course we mentioned Sport already, and the Dartfish do all the wonderful stats for us.
Sure, we've also got Farmers Leap, Archie's Thongs, which everyone looks forward to winning if they can for the best on ground, Roll the Dice, and also Banner Crew.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks to all those wonderful sponsors. So looking ahead to this game, it's going to be a close one in my opinion. Both the teams are in and around the marker finals as we get to near the end of the home and away season. So Morphettville Park sitting in 4th place, but with a win record of 6 wins and 4 losses, and Walkerville 7th place, which sounds a bit far off, but they're only 1 win away. So looking at the ladder in preparation of this match, the Div 4 ladder is very interesting. So basically from 3rd to 8th is within 1 game, so 2 points or 4 points, so very close ladder, and these games are definitely crucial for finals.
Yeah, absolutely. This game, and there's also Hectorville and Lockley's playing today, so that middle of the ladder is very tight. And as you said, these teams are 4th and 7th, but really when you look at the ladder, it's a lot closer than that. They're all kind of sitting in that middle of the ladder area, so final spots absolutely up for grabs here. I think this is going to be a close match.
Yeah, and Walkerville might have a bit of extra pressure with the new scoreboard and a nice big crowd, a lot of cars around, looking forward to this match. So looking forward to some of the key players of this match. Just for me, looking at Morphettville as well, they've got Trembath, who scored 4 goals last week, and he's up there with the goal kicking, having 16 goals in 7 games this season. And as well as Barnes has 17 goals this season, so some of their highest goal kickers. I always look at the goals, I love the goals. What about you, Beck? Any key players to look out for?
Well, I mean, goals are how you win the game. So speaking of, we've got James Boston for Walkerville. He's 3rd on the goal kickers, 31 goals. Notably, Adam Proud not to be found on the team sheet today, and he is the 2nd leading goal kicker. So I think that'll be interesting, where those goals going to come from. He kicked 5 goals last time these teams played each other, so they've got to find those 5 goals somewhere. Speaking of the last time that they met, it was just a 12-point difference in the game, so not much in it really. Morphettville 82 defeated Walkerville 70, so as we said, a lot to play for. I think this is going to be a close match. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree for sure. And I'm talking about key outs. Also, Jesse Martin is out, so he was the best players for the last 5 weeks. And him being out almost evens it up with Proud missing. So both teams missing one of their key players each. But there's definitely plenty of talent out there to still be a very close and interesting game as we see the players lining up in their respective positions and the umpire doing a few test bounces as the game's about to go ahead now.
Well, there was certainly no bounces at Brighton last week where I was working because they would have just gone splat. Their entire centre square was full of mud, so it's good to see a green outlook.
Yeah, I went to Brighton a few months ago. It was the same thing. But there is a lot of mud in this ground, but not on the field. So they've done well to do well to keep it off the boundaries. So as we get ready for the first bounce here, we'll see how the ruckman goes. So the two ruckmen go up, taps it down to Walkerville. Very congested early on. A few players jumping on top of the ball, trying to keep it in there. It finds its way out somehow, trying to get the handball from underneath. Does a bit of a handball, but not quite to where it's needed. And another throw almost immediately after the first bounce.
So another stoppage to start this game. We haven't moved far from the centre circle at all. Walkerville already looking pretty dominant in the ruck through Zwar, so we'll see how that plays out. Nice intercept mark taken in the back lines there by Josh Oliver for Morphettville Park. Sends it wide straight away. Almost looked to play on there, but looks like they're ready to play attacking footy today, the Roos. They're going for the inside 50 for the first time. It's cut off again, so both teams just sussing out their opponents at the moment, what you'd probably expect. A few unsuccessful entries forward, but it's Morphettville again. They've turned it over. They've got someone on in the middle in Tui, but chooses to ignore him, just looking to go deep into the 50 straight away. Launches it in. Few targets in there. Few fly-outs from Walkerville, if anything. Goal square. Swings around, and it's the first goal of the game to the home side in the Roos. So, great play there from Morphettville, just looking very attacking very early in this game, Jad.
Yeah, that was a good call by you. They immediately looked to bomb it into the 50, didn't even try and chip it around or anything. And like you said, there was a big flyer from the Walkerville defender, maybe a little bit risky, to be honest, to do that in defence. So went over the top of him, and a nice snap by, I believe it was number 28.
Jenkins, all right.
Jenkins,
yeah.
There you go. Yes, his number changed, so it took me a second to find him. But Jed Jenkins, JJ, with the first goal. Back in the middle now. Again, the ruckman pretty even there, as the pressure from Walkerville has been pretty intense immediately. Another big tackle there, and gets another secondary bounce. Takes a second to get back to the umpire, who's throws it up. The ruckman trying to clear it himself, but eventually finds one of the midfielders. Tries to soccer kick it, but only finds the Walkerville defender, who again bombs it into the 50 on a 3-on-1, nearly wins it, but the defenders who outnumbered him do get the mark in the end of that.
So it's Walkerville in possession now. They've got to find something to do here. It was Rowe who took the intercept. Finds a teammate pretty easily. We've got players seemingly everywhere, but just unable to hit one of them up with Walkerville. Decision making there probably not ideal. Umpire's going to have to sort this one out by the looks of it, so we'll have a throw in just inside the centre square towards the Morphettville goal.
Morphettville here to clear it from that big pack of players. Doesn't go too far though, as it's very heated in the contest early on. Walkerville do find a bit of space, snaps around the body, but smothered. Back to the Walkerville player who but then spins out of trouble beautifully by Tui, who passes it off and into the 50 metres pocket. Just could not reach that, so a bit of a foot race with the boundary there and loses. So a throw deep inside Walkerville's 50 there, as they done well though in all that congestion to find a handball. Oh, it looks like it was a last man rule, so last touch, sorry. So yeah, it's going to be cleared from the Walkerville defence. A bit of a let off there. It was a dangerous position as a big pack forms. No one could take a clean mark, but the Rover does get the ball but wrapped up immediately. So very heated early on.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure around the stoppages, but Zwa's doing very well in the ruck for Walkerville. Just probably needs to work on his direction a bit there. Morphettville, they're looking to attack again. They're all over it at the moment. Comes off the boot of men's fourth. Just goes high up in the sky. No one's able to pull it in. Walkerville working hard here in their defence. It was Rowe, got wrapped up by two Walkerville players. Took two of them to get him down. He's been active pretty early, has Rowe for Walkerville. So we'll keep an eye on him. Bit of push and shove in the ruck there. First boot goes to Walkerville. They're trying to clear it here. It seems to be getting cut off every time by the Roos though. And we had a side comment here of could be holding the ball, and it sure was. Might have to get you on special comments. So Walkerville with the chance now. We've got to line someone up. Looking down the line. Got a few options in the centre, but you've got to be brave to go through the middle. They choose to go long. Almost a defensive mark there taken by Oliver, but it was missed. Walkerville still picking up the pieces. They send it long. That was through Reardon. It's got a one-on-one in the goal square, but it was beaten. Great defensive effort there from Martin for Walkerville. It's going to be done for holding the ball there, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was a very good pressure by Walkerville. As soon as it hit the ground, there was 4-on-1 in the attack, and they pounced on him in a big tackle to win the shot a goal here.
Yeah, so it'll be Mackenzie from the right-hand pocket. It's a difficult kick, but we saw one go through in the twos earlier. This one, however, has not. So Walkerville will get their first score of the game. They'll move to 1 point, but they're trailing the Roos on 1-6.
I think what we talked about before the match has come to fruition these first few minutes. It's been very evenly matched. No team really getting on top early, and very heated. Lots of tackles, lots of people fumbling, but not like because of the skills, more because of just the pressure that this game started with. So as they clear it from the defence now, goes over the top of everyone and out on the full on the wing. So big kick, but did not go exactly to plan as they Walkerville have the opportunity now to kick it back into the 50. A bit of a rushed kick in my opinion, because there was way too many Morphettville players there, but he does mark it and play on. Long kick from 150 to the other, punched out when he probably could have marked it, falls to the ground. They're outnumbered here. Walkerville got more numbers and they should find a way. Do run a bit of a trouble, but eventually do help each other out with a few handballs, and again into the other 50 as the players they're looking for any clean possession they can, and in that occasion the defence again wins with Morphettville clearing it, but not too far as they turn it over and bombs it into the 50 now, but deeper than before. The contest there nearly was a good defensive mark, but he gets the clearance anyway through his teammate. And Mensford again getting handy with a few handballs and defensive actions. Kicked out looking for his teammate in Kidney, but no luck. But it does find Doak, the captain, which could not do too much with it, but does get caught. Push in the back, I believe, with that one.
Just very frantic around the ball at the moment. Morphettville probably had the advantage there, but they couldn't quite get away. So Walkerville the kick in through Kirchner. It's cut off again. Morphettville set up very well in defence behind the ball, been very disciplined early. Trembath goes long. Top of the 50 there. He was looking for a teammate in Jenkins. Didn't quite find him. So it'll be Walkerville again. Looks like Rowe. He's been everywhere early. Walkerville just not seeming to be able to get a few clean disposals together. Very scrappy at the moment. And it's cut off again. That Morphettville defence, very disciplined.
Yeah, it's what I've noticed so far is they've been kicking it from 150 metre to the other. It's obviously good to get inside 50s, but I think if they just took their time and chipped it around and looked for the right option, it'll be more better for both teams. But so the ball on the wing now, right in front of us, and he was caught for tripping. So free kick going the way of Walkerville, and that player of Janovic kicks it again into 50, but a bit of a rush kick to one of the defenders once again, like a bit of a deja vu play in that occasion, in my opinion. I think they're bombing it into the 50, both teams, but it's not going deep into the 50, only within the first 5-10 metres.
Yeah, absolutely. Just getting stuck at the top of the 50 there, as you said, as Zwar gets it out the ruck quite easily there. We'll have another ball up. No one's been able to take a very solid clearance early. We haven't sort of seen any of those mids come through and be able to burst away. There's just so many numbers around the ball, needing a bit of spread there. Walkerville goes on the boot of Boston. We know what he can do with it, but it's cut off by Duggan for Morphettville, just sitting in the square there. Goes across to Hankin. Sees something he likes further up. Turns out it was a good choice. Bit of a juggle there. They're seeing it now, Morphettville, sending it deep into the 50. We're looking for that deep entry. It's on the boot and it goes through. It's Jasper Clark for Morphettville. Was just sitting in the right place. The ball bounced there for him and puts it through for Morphettville's second goal.
That goal was also similar to the first goal. Kicked it over the top of all defenders, so not a shallow entry in the 50, right over the top, and it went, and carried by the wind, it seems, as it enters into the back of the field, and the faster player grabs it and kicks the goal there. So that's 2 goals, 12 playing 1, the home team so far in the lead, as a ruckman back up at it, taps it down, and this is the nice clearance potentially for Walkerville. Done well for a few players there to get involved, but a huge pack forms again, still in the centre box. The box is almost touching the 50-metre line. It's quite a smaller ground here today, but you've got to win at all grounds. That's all round. And there's a kick from that gets a mark inside the 50. So from a clearance, like you said, finally got a clean clearance and does find Boston, who we mentioned earlier, definitely knows how to find the goals. 31 goals this season, and very impressive goal kicker in this division. As he lines up from about 40 metres out, bit of an angle, coming back and finds its way through the goal. So that's the first goal for Walkerville this afternoon, and it is that man Boston. If it was anyone, it would probably be him early on. And done well, as you mentioned, to get a clean clearance, and from that, a clean mark inside 50.
That's it, and players like him, he looks like your classic lead-up key forward. That's what he's looking for. He's looking for that kick right on the chest. He got the space easily, got out in front, take a mark, and he's always going to put that through. So back to the centre now. Zwar, he's putting him out in front now. I asked him to tap him into the spot, and he has. Cut off straight away by Burns though, so it's Morphettville. They're doing very well under pressure in the defence, Morphettville. Bit of a contest there. Doak was at the front, tried to get it to his teammates. Umpire Cena holding the ball. He's been pretty hot on those at the moment, so the players should know what to expect for the rest of the game. It's Smith for Walkerville. He's got options. He's got one running through the middle. Haven't been taking those options so far in this game, playing it a bit more safe. Reardon sends it to the hot spot right in the middle, but they were ready for it. It's in the hands of Oliver. He's taken some good marks already for Morphettville. Yeah,
very well read, Oliver. He was probably not even in the best position, but he just read it so well that he could take that mark, almost facing away from the ball. As they clear it here, but Walkerville again outnumbered on the wing. Manning into the 50, long kick, big pack forming, falls on the floor as they try and clear it here, and they rush it through for a behind. So probably the smart option in that case, and that was Duggan again. So he's been in the best players the last few weeks as well, and you can see why. He reads it well, and he has good IQ when it comes to defending. But the kick out is a risky one. Finds the captain, who does get the free kick, and they take advantage to kick it slightly backwards, but it's not always the wrong option as they switch the play onto the other wing, finding Peach, who is looking for his options. Decides to go long down the line and trying to find a mark, nearly a brilliant mark there, but just falls. But they do well to butter up and get the clearance from that situation. Rolling, bouncing ball in the 50. Can someone do something special here as it's racing towards the boundary line? But they do well to keep it alive. Taps it to his teammate, but is tackled immediately. And play on, says the umpire, as Walkerville try and clear it from the defence now. Another big tackle, And that time it is given. Like you said, they've been giving him all day, and that was a very nice tackle by Jenkins. So we've seen him a few times, Jenkins, this early on, and done a few nice things.
Yeah, you can see he's looking straight away at the goals, and Morphettville were probably a bit rough earlier on. They didn't get the free for the holding on, but the umpire saw one in the end, paid the holding the ball. So Jenkins here, he's lining up pretty fast, so we can't even see him. He's come back into our frame now. He's got a few leads coming at him, but it looks like he's launching it towards the goals. It looks good off the boot. He's going to sneak in. It's just hit the post. So Jenkins, I think he's not happy with it. He would have liked the goal there. So just 1-1 to Jenkins, which he will take Morphettville to 2-1-13, trailing Walkerville 1-2-8.
That was a massive kick, 55 metres. Reminded me of Dan Houston from last week, as it did hit the post, unfortunately for him, unlike the Houston one from last week. But they are chipping it around a bit more, Walkerville, finding some marks in the defence, not just bombing it out. It's worked so far as they find a mark on the wing and plays on immediately and again kicks it long, but is tackled as he kicks it, but not in a malicious way. But it does have enough pressure that the ball probably will be over the boundary line. But actually, Morphettville were clean with their hands, finding their teammates, finding the handballs to progress them forward. I love this attacking style of football, but they do turn it over, unfortunately, and it is into the defence. They have a few numbers back in defence, but Walkerville do well to find a few handballs there. Boston again trying to shoot, or a bit of a clearance actually, but could not find his teammate and marked there by number 26.
So Morphettville coming out. It was a 2-on-1 there. Bit hard for Tui to get hands on it. Men's fourth has come in there attacking. Umpire's seen something here too high. So Walkerville looking to attack now. Go across the face towards the left. Very far out there, but the mark was taken in the end by Kenny, so he knew where it was going. He looks to pass on here, and it's straight into our man Boston. So again, given the opportunity, he's going to lead up, and we've had a 25 against as well, so you'd say Boston would slot it through from here, Jad.
Yeah, he's on fire in the goal kicking anyways. The extra 25 probably wasn't needed for him, but I guess he'll take it as he does shoot and score his second for the day. So that's 2 for Boston and 2 for Walkerville as he gets 100% of the goals so far. I did notice even last time when they played, they only scored was it 10 goals, and he got 5 of them, so he got 50% of the goals on that day. He got 3 actually, sorry, my bad. He got 3 goals, so yeah, still a good percentage of the goals. The other one was Proud, actually 5, so I did notice they only had 3 other goal kickers on those 2. So Proud is missing, and Boston has so far stepped up in his position.
He has. He's put the long sleeves on and he's taken over, so he's done well. So up again, it's Zwar getting first hands to it a lot of the time here in the ruck for Walkerville. Jump on top of it. We'll have a little bit of a pack here, and we'll have another throw in just towards the far wing. Nice of them to play far away where it's harder for us to see. Thanks, guys. But it'll go up again. As I mentioned earlier, there's just a lot of numbers around the ball, so it's getting a bit congested. It'll go into the 50 where there's not many people to be seen. Here go Morphettville again. As you said, Jad, when Walkerville bomb it in, it just doesn't really seem to work for them. Morphettville are always ready for that. So every time that they've lowered the eyes and found that target in Boston, they've been able to score. So I think you're on the money there, Jad.
Yeah, that's right. Expert comments for a reason. And there they are again with their chipping in, finding a mark about 50 metres out, 45 metres out. So again, didn't bomb it in. We know we were talking about how good Duggan's been and Mensford's been good in defence. So this has worked so far for them, chipping it about. They do probably have shots from a bit further out than they like, but it's better than not having shots at all, I reckon. So as they line up about 40, he's going to have to kick it from about 50 actually, and bit of an angle, not too bad. If he's a right footer, it won't be too bad either as he comes in now. Big, long kick, but it does drift very wide for out.
We're back. Apologies for the break in the commentary, but we're still a 1 point ball game here at Morphettville. So Morphettville 2-2-14. Apologies. It is all even. So 2-2-14 apiece. So Walkerville bringing out a defence now. They got numbers down the line. That's where they go. Mark wasn't be able to take them by Francis, so we'll have a boundary throw in.
So boundary throw-in on the wing in the attacking side of the ground for the Morphettville Kangaroos. Coming in now, but the ruckman goes uncontested, almost taps it down, but couldn't take advantage of it as it does roll into the 50 metres of Morphettville here. Handballing it out of their defence now as it finds Hankin, who kicks it in long, but again into that Duggan defender, who does get caught holding the ball there, so tried to take on the attacker and dropped it. So it was a free kick there, which he chips it wider, but a bit closer to the goal, and they get a shot at goal here. So maybe a bit of an unlucky free kick given there, but he did try to take on the attacker and drop the ball. So he gave it, and now they get a shot at goal about 30 metres out, quite a bit of an angle as he lines up here, trying to add the third here for Walkerville, and he does. So good kick, takes advantage of that pressure they've been having, and it's worked on that occasion. Once he turns around, we'll tell you who it is that actually scored that one, so we can see his number. It looks like number 18, so that is Inglis. So Inglis with the third goal for Walkerville, getting him up to 3-2-20, facing the home team Morphettville in 2-2-14. So a bit of a battle of the Vills here today, both ending in Ville, making it a little bit more confusing for us commentators, but at least we're experts, so we should be fine.
That's right. So Walkerville with the goal lead here. See if they can build on it. Not if Morphettville have anything to say about it. Hankin was just weaving around everyone in the centre there. He was trying to find a teammate, but the mark wasn't being able to take it. So Walkerville here, they're trying to get it out of that dangerous 50. Crowd wanted holding the ball or something there. Very strong Morphettville, goodness me, Morphettville crowd here today, of course. Heavily invested in their team. So Morphettville trying to go forward. Is it holding the ball? The crowd said yes and the umpire said yes. So it'll be a shot on goal here to Morphettville. Much needed, you'd think.
Yeah, the pressure from both teams. There's been a lot of holding the ball decisions, as you mentioned. You called that pretty early, and it's been spot on. The players will have to adjust to that, the strictness from the umpires, but I'm sure it'll be make the game interesting for us as he lines up.
Yeah, so it's Trezise. Sorry if I've just ruined your family name. He looks to launch it. Big shot on goal, but he's just missed to the left-hand side, so it'll be another point there to Morphettville. So they'll move now to 2-3-15, trailing Walkerville 3-2-20.
Again, with the chipping out of defence, has worked so far as they find the player deep in the pocket. It does go back to where it came from, and a few players moving for him as he does chip it and finds Peltz in the pocket. Looking up, not too many options, so it looks like he's going to bomb it, and he does. Long down the line, players come up to contest it. No one can mark it, as it does, however, find Morphettville's, and they handball over the top to Hankin, trying to get involved there, but just couldn't. Finds Tui, who I've really enjoyed watching so far this first quarter. Bombs it into the 50 and finds a mark. So it's not always worked for them, the bombing, but this time it does, as they've done really well to get a clearance and get a kick in that congestion, as Trembuth has a shot at goal. And as we know, he's one of their main goal kickers, 4 goals last week and 16 and 7 games, this season. So Trembuth about 40 metres out, straight in front, kicks it quite well and does find a goal. So we're back to a Morphettville hitting the lead by 1 point with that kick, and Trembuth kicks the third. So they've had 3 different goal kickers, Jenkins with 1 and Clark with 1, and now Trembeth with the third makes it 3-3-21 to 3-2-20.
Yeah, he read it really well there, did Trembath. He just got himself under the ball and almost took it uncontested in the end, so just used his body very well and converted easily. So come back to the centre again. Zwar just getting first hands to it every time. Might need a bit of change in tactics in the ruck there. Just make him think about it a bit more. They go up again. The ball didn't go far the first time. He just punches it long, does Zwar. Seems to work better for them. They look to go inside 50 now to Walkerville. Boston was under siege, couldn't quite get hands to it. Here comes that defence again, and we'll be at quarter time here. First quarter, we'll see Morphettville just in the lead, 3-3-21 to Walkerville, 3-2-20. Walkerville goals, Boston with 2, Inglis with 1. For Morphettville, Jenkins, Clark and Trembath all singles. So nice tight first quarter, Judd.
Yeah, I've been really impressed by the quality of football out here today. A few times they've been congested, a few times they've been bombing it, but you saw that was the first 5 minutes and then they kind of worked each other out. And by the end of the quarter, they were really flowing and finding ways to score. I've been impressed by the goal kickers. As I mentioned, I do like the goal kickers. And beautifully called about the ruckman too. He's a bit taller and been dominating, so we'll see what happens in the second quarter.
We will. So 1 point ball game at the moment. Be interesting to see how the rest of the game plays out. We'll be back with you after these messages.
9 News, teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome Jason Goods.
Thanks Tony, nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Back to this game as we're about to get underway. As the first throw here goes up, the two ruckmen again go at it, and this time Walkerville get the advantage from that situation as they find a 50 straight away. Shrugs off a tackle and has a kick there. Beautifully done, but just cannot find the goals as it bounces through. But the Morphettville player, did really well. It was like 4v1, but he nearly got a goal, and I think he kicked it, but it just went for a behind there from a soccer kick. But the clearance from that goes half the ground and marked, which is a risky to go down the corridor, but it works on that occasion. Plays on, which was probably not a good idea, but does find his teammate here in McKay. Kicks it again into the 50 now, into the pocket, racing along the boundary line, and they do well to clear it as it does find my guy Duggan, and handballs it around to Burns. Burns tries to clear it as well, but doesn't go out the 50 yet. Duggan with a diving handball again. Second efforts there, beautifully. Looking for his captain, but falls to the teammate instead, who kicks it into the 50. So very yo-yo game so far this second quarter. Non-stop running from one end to the other as it leaves the defence again, but straight into the middle where it finds the Walkerville player intercepting mark.
Yeah, so very end-to-end early on in this second quarter. Looking for the entry inside 50 again, it was Morphettville. It was a bit of a 2-on-1, so it'll be cleared out by Walkerville again. We'll see what happens here if the ball ends up coming back again. And I think it will, so we're just very much going up and down the field at the moment. In possession of Morphettville now. They're coming back down the line, and it goes straight to the ruckman in Zwar for Walkerville. So we're just having a big old kick to kick out here at the moment. It's nice that everyone's sharing the ball around with each other. Just very friendly.
Yeah, it's good for the cardio, a lot of running, but probably not good if you're trying to win the game at this stage. But it's almost like the start of the first quarter, just feeling each other out and getting used to the weaknesses, the strengths of each team. Even though they have played a quarter, it's always not easy to get going again, as we do have a throw right in front of the beautiful portal scoreboard. More on that in a second, as the ruckman jostle at it here, trying to get a clearance, and it does, and that was Tui again. He's been fantastic in my opinion everywhere. He got it in defence a few minutes ago, and now on the wing in the attacking phase, as the ball rebounds back towards him, and the few players there jostling for it, does hit the deck, and nobody can really clear it from that situation as it stays in the pocket right in front of the scoreboard.
Yes, and we'll have a throw in just in front of that Sportal scoreboard. Now you can download the Sportal app, use Spectator View, and you can watch this game live and any other games on there. You've got live scores and all different sorts of things. We've got some people here with us today from Sportal, so make sure you get behind them as they love supporting local footy. So here goes Morphettville. Gosh, I need to get my vills right. I'm having a day here. So Morphettville, Ruse and Cat, that's it. We might have to go with the animals here. So looks like it's with Trembath here for Morphettville. It looks to go into the 50. Again, it's just in dispute around that 40 to 50 metre mark. So it'll be Walkerville again. Comes through Mackay. Holding the ball, says the crowd. Are they going to get it? They sure are.
Very strong tackle there. If there was a tackle of the week, I think that would win it. It was a smashing tackle and beautifully cleaned as well to get that free kick as he chips it forward, trying to find his teammate there in Riley Smith, I believe, or maybe someone else. But they couldn't do anything with it. But they do find a way at the back of the pack, but he rushes the kick out on the full. He had 5-10 metres with the pace. He found so much room, but I'm not sure exactly what the issue was there, but smashed it into the advertising board as the Cats get their kick from defence now.
Their ball seems to be finding the boundary line a bit in this game so far. Goes to a bit of a pack here, and Zwar just picks it out of there. I think he's going to pick those out all day. Goes long. He's got a few targets there, but great defensive mark by Duggan for the Ruse. Just saw the ball, got the hands up and took it at full stretch really there. So goes straight away to Hankin. Was in good position there. Looks to play on. Didn't really have anything going, so he tries to set it up. He's gone wide. There's a few Cats out there, but they pluck it out, do the Ruse. Got a chance to go forward here. A little bit casual with it, if anything. Sends it a bit high. Looking for the 50 metre line. Oh, just took it in the hands. Again, pretty casually in the end. Winds up. We've got a few one-on-ones here, but we've also got Ma, who's free for the Cats. It spills out. Who's got it here? It's going to go over, and it'll be just another point there to Morphettville. So they move to 3-5-23. The Cats 3-2-20.
Yeah, they kind of went wider there and found a few marks on the wing, which is better from the Ruse, and they decent shot at goal there, but just could not find the goal with a snap. As the big ruckman again in a very good position and does get a handball receive, which helps him kick it into the 50. There's a few players there looking for the ball, and it falls down to one of the Walkerville players who snaps it and finds the goal. So that was Jordan Smith with a very clean pickup and immediately wanted to shoot, turned his body, snapped it around his body, and no one in the goal square bounces in for a goal. So again, the ruckman very crucial there. He was there for beautiful position for the mark, couldn't take it, but still found the ball for a handball, which helped him and helped his team get that goal on that occasion.
Yeah, he's doing very well in there, Zwar. I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing from him. He's dominating in the taps. He's taking marks. He's going in there doing a little bit of his own roving as well. So he'll get up there again, straight down. They're getting a bit stuck in the midfield sometimes. It goes to Callery, then it comes off the boot of Francis for Walkerville. They've sent it in again. What can they do with it? Gone to Boston. Hooks it. It's gone very far to the left, and it'll be an out of bounds last touch there. So be back in the hands of the Ruse.
Morphettville long down the line now, just outside the 50, looking for the captain, but nice intercept marked by Kushner, the other captain. So they were looking for their own captain, but they found the opposition captain, who turns around and bombs a very high kick right into the corner of the 50 and finds the mark, I believe. Yes, the umpire's given it a mark right in the pocket, very tight angle by, I believe it is number 31, if my eyes are good enough to see that one. Maybe not, there is no 31.
Boston again, Jack.
Oh, and there you go, Boston again. So he's a bit far away from where we're sitting, but the most important thing is a team game here, which he goes around and does find the goal. So that is number 3 for Boston, number 5 for Walkerville, as they extend their lead here. And big mark right in the pocket, but he never looked like missing. He was very confident, went back and kicked it.
Yeah, well, we've seen him kick the drop punt. We've seen him now do his little round the corner number. So he's got everything in the bag of tricks, does Boston. So Morphettville might have to think about the match up there, or just keeping a bit of a closer eye on him, I think.
Yeah, they've got a bit of a mismatch in the ruck, I'd say. He's a lot taller, and that's another one that's not working very well. So I'm sure the coach is thinking about what he can do. So the two coaches here today, Brad Harper from Morphettville and Ryan Madden, who will be happy with how things are going for Walkerville so far. As they quickly get a clearance from that throw, and it finds Boston again. So he kicked one about 30 seconds ago, even less if you're counting actual playing time, and he gets another shot now. This one about 50 metres out, bit of an angle, not too bad, as he again straight away goes for a kick, doesn't wait around too long. Big high kick, and this one does miss, unfortunately for him. But yeah, like you said, we've seen him with snapping. He kicked that one, made the distance easily from about 55. So yeah, he's been everywhere in the attacking side of the game.
Oh no, and there's a turnover straight away from the kick in there. Just Morphettville not making the best decision there, so picked off straight away. Just trying to locate who's got it there for the Cats, but they want to punish Morphettville here. Just the kick just wasn't the best idea there, so pretty much directly in front and sends it through, no worries at all. And that was Jordan Smith for the Cats, so he gets his second goal, and Walkerville just pushing out that lead now. They're really just, starting to make things difficult for the Roos here. So just great play there from Walkerville. They go out to 6-3-39, Morphettville 3-5-23.
We said earlier there haven't been too many clean clearances, but on that occasion it was straight from the clearance mark, and then they had that shot on goal which caused the turnover. So the Roos won't be too happy with turning over in that position, but it was just the pressure and getting it in their 50, which is always the most important thing when trying to get a goal. So we're back underway here. The ball in the middle. There's a bit of a cricket pitch today, but it's not too much of an issue. They've actually done a really good job to cover it up, and as Morphettville try and clear it again through Memforth and their captain, they're long into the 50. Done well to crumb it, finding a few of the long sleeve players there. Handballs over top, snaps around, and good goal there from number 66, Jack McDermott. So a few of the long sleeve brigade there combining with some very clean handballs, and really left the Walkerville defence a bit puzzled, which we haven't seen too much today, and gets a really good goal to keep in touch. Only 10 points are different.
Yeah, they definitely look a lot better, Morphettville, when they have that fast ball movement forward. They seem to catch the Walkerville defence out when they move that fast ball. And as you said, all the long sleeves combining together there for the Roos. Much needed first goal of the quarter here. So we'll be back in the centre now. Goes up. Zwar first hands to it again. Don't know how many times I can say that in one day. Ma was fighting through there for Walkerville, but he got wrapped up there. He's been very busy in the midfield today. You can see a bit of push and shove there in that midfield. Maybe why those clearances aren't quite coming out. Strong tackle there from Tui, and we'll have another stoppage.
Just looking at the Morphettville Park forward line, it looks a bit smaller than all the defenders. There's no real one tall focal point forward, so those handballs and the fast speed could really be an advantage, and we've seen them get a few goals in that fashion, and it's really worked so far. So I think they should continue doing that, in my opinion, as they are a bit outsized, but that doesn't always mean you won't be able to get goals. As the ball is in the centre again for a throw, 50-50 there from the ruckman, as the player goes down a bit hurt, a bit slow to get up, but the clearance does come Morphettville's way, and they do find a mark not far from the edge of the 50 here, and near the boundary line. So we will line up now. Riley Smith, I believe, will doesn't look like he really wants to shoot, but not too many options forward, so it looks like he's going for it. Actually just pops it up to a very dangerous position. 3-on-1, but couldn't find the mark. They kind of contested each other there as they get the clearance, Walkerville, but only as far as the defender there in it, Jesse Martin. So beautifully marked there, as his kick does not find a target, and the last man rule applies here. So Walkerville get a bit lucky in that occasion, as they got outmarked in that contest, but the kick was not effective enough.
Yeah, I think Martin will be annoyed that he sprayed that kick there a bit too far. straight into the hands of Walkerville with that free kick. Here they go again into the forward line off the boot of Colour, but that's going to go straight out of bounds, you'd think. So just tried a little bit of a soccer move there, but went straight out.
Yeah, he volleyed it out the sky, thinking he was Ronaldo or something, but didn't quite work out.
That's it, and we're still hugging that boundary line here, but the mark's taken just inside here by the Roos. They've got to push back now, find a target. They've got a few there. Nice mark taken by Paik. He has a bit of a look around here. No one's really leading, just a bit of standing around waiting for it. They need something clear here, someone to present. So it's just going to be in hands now. Tackle looked almost a bit high on Trembath. Umpire says it's a throw, and I think a bit stiff there not to get the free. I definitely saw arm on neck action there. But that's footy, don't always see them, so it'll be a throw in here just in front of our spot here above the Morphettville interchange. We tried to go through the middle there, did the Roos. They've seen the free this time, the crowd's happy with that. In the hands of Johnson. He's got to hit up a teammate here. Almost hit up someone from Walkerville, that's what he's done. Zwar gets the hands out. Back with Doak. Been a bit of a bull in there today. Comes off the boot and just finds that boundary line again. The bull very much attracted to the boundary today, Chad.
Yeah, it's the way they're playing is just along the boundary line a bit, and it does find it. And with the last man rule, you do get a free kick, so it's a bit unlucky sometimes when it goes out. But into the centre this time, and it does fall to a few hands here. If they can be clean, they get a clearance, and they do into the 50, but to no one in particular. Over there is Papa Georgios there to clean it up, and he does, kicking it long down the wing. Bit of a contest here, a few players colliding without the ball, but all fair as it goes over the boundary line again. And yeah, good call on Doak earlier. He's been a big bull, and I've seen him even a bit slow to get up, a bit sore here and there, but being the captain, I'm sure he'll just fight for his team, and yeah, he's been quite impressive as well.
Well, I just saw him going for the one-on-one in the ruck there, so that you did say they should probably try something different, so I don't mind that. Sometimes when you've, got a big, tall ruck, sometimes you just got to try for the one-on-one body and see if you can put them off. So umpires found a free here. There is a Walkerville player that went down a bit heavy there. So just a bit of illegal contact there, you'd think. It's with Walkerville now. Got players on in the middle if they want it. Had a bit of a look, but said, no, I'm just going to go with the down-the-line chip. And the ball dropped short. He's put his teammate under a lot of pressure there. You'd think that'd be holding the ball. It is. So good pressure there by Morphettville. They just forced the turnover. You can see them all pushing back into the forward line now. But all their opponents are there as well. Goes up in the air, does the kick to the top of the 50, and probably not the right idea there. The mark was taken easily by Colour.
Yeah, Finn ran very hard from the boundary line there, so Henry Finn, but they just couldn't find him, and it went to the Walkerville player, who's now kicked it long into their 50, the ball on the ground. A few big pack forming as they try and get it out, but the ball will go to the umpire. He said, I'll have it, and we'll throw it up about 30 metres out in front of the Walkerville, Hectorville, even another Ville added to the mix as they throw it up, but again, very congested and big tackles everywhere. That was Hankin, who's been quite impressive as well, trying to clear it but got tackled. So another throw here, about 35 metres. They moved it a bit like a rugby scrum, only a few metres as it goes up. Another big tap by the ruckman Zwar, but this time Morphettville were able to get the clearance as they try and chip it about like we've been asking. Big collision there. Good courage from both players to keep their eye on the ball. Both get up quickly, so that's good. We like to see that. As Walkerville now trying to get it into the 50, but the pressure from Morphettville has been good. The Roo has been bouncing and jumping all over their opposition with good pressure.
Yeah, and that was a great tackle there because Walkerville were off there. They were ready to go, and those tackles like that save goals. So, bit in dispute here. Walkerville looking to jump on it. Another great tackle there again was by Kidney for the Roos. So just not letting Walkerville take it easily. Really enjoying that tackle pressure from Morphettville. We'll have another stoppage here, top of the Walkerville 50. Just go bang through the stoppage there, do the Roos. Unable to do a lot with it, and I think that's come off the boot, so it will be a free kick to Walkerville. It'll be in the hands of Manning. Now, he's looking in that forward line. What does he like there? Goes fairly central. There's a big pack there. Zwar was there. He couldn't quite take it. So it'll be Morphettville. They're just trying to mop it up here. Walkerville say, no, we want to keep it in here. Morphettville say, yes, we're trying to get it out. It's just one-on-one footy here, and we'll have a stoppage just in the Walkerville 50 here.
So we've had a few throw-ups here, not far from the Walkerville goal. Bit of a collision there as well, but it's all fair as another one happened. So I think that's about 4 in a few minutes, about 30 metres out, all very similar distance from the goal. As this is where the very dominant ruckman we were talking about should try and find a teammate or hit it into space. They've been good at it so far. Let's see what they can do. Taps it down, but there is an outnumber of defenders there, cleared away by Morphettville, but not to anyone particular, racing towards the boundary line, and it does find the boundary line in that occasion. So just outside the 50, we'll have a throw from the boundary as all the players come from everywhere. Walkerville, I feel, has had more outnumbered around the ground, but in the last few minutes, Morphettville, so the Roos, have been running hard and really creating more numbers around the ball, around the place. So on this occasion, it's similar to what I was just saying, as they do find a clearance onto the wing and marked by Finn on the boundary line. So Finn looks up. He has a player who ran on, nearly goes to him. So he actually ran around the mark, wanted the 1-2, but just outside the line. So it was the right idea, but just could not execute it, unfortunately.
Well, it was basically his only option. The 50 was actually empty because everyone's pushed so far up the ground. So he had no choice but to take that sort of low percentage kick there. So he just needed those Morphettville forwards to push back a bit quicker to give him options. But it'll be with Walkerville now. Just doing some nice long kicks today. No one in particular able to grab it, but they go into that deep forward line now, a bit dangerous, and it'll be rushed over for a point. Probably the best result at this stage for Morphettville. Let them have the kick in and start again.
6-4-40 plays 4-5-29. So Morphettville 29, the home team here today, as they clear it from the defence, trying to find Finn again, but it does find Hankin, who's been good, kicks it into the box, but unfortunately for them, does find the opposition player. The kick not too good, very low towards the ground, and does not do much, but the tackle is brutal and did not even see him coming. The players were telling him behind you, but just not fast enough, as the pressure there coming from behind him, and gets a free kick, the shot at goal now from Walkerville. So we have seen better play, in my opinion, from Morphettville, but on that occasion, just a bit too slow to clear it and gets tackled brutally. So that is Scott Kenny, who was in the best plays in last week when they beat Kenilworth. So he's having a shot now about 40 metres out, bit of an angle, lines it up beautifully and does get the goal. Big celebration as well. He's loving that one, Kenny, which brings them up to 7-4-46, leading over Morphettville Park so far, 4-4. So for that team, 4-5, sorry, 29. And yeah, like you said, Morphettville probably a few low percentage kicks here and there. They do turn it over and get a big goal to extend the lead on that occasion.
Yeah, and it was a great effort by Kenny. You love to see forwards that can also attack, and go to defend, and he won that and was able to convert, so did very well there. So Walkerville, again, just getting those taps every single time. It's a great advantage to have, of course. But ball still, a few handballs here and there. It's getting smothered, it's getting tapped, it's not really going anywhere. The umpire says, I'll have it. So we'll have a throw-in just about 60 metres out from the Walkerville goal. So here we go straight away, no time to waste. Umpire puts it up, ends up in the hands of the Roos, but they're wrapped up straight away. As we've mentioned all day, the numbers around the ball very dense. There's not much room to move, so you've just got to get first hands to it and try and get it over that first line of players. It's Walkerville here again. Go for the inside 50, almost the juggling mark there. It keeps going in the forward line. Crowd wanted ball. They were probably justified in asking for it, but the umpire says no, and we'll end up with a stoppage about 45 metres out from the Walkerville goal, and it might even be a free kick. Sounds like it was for dissent, so not ideal, but you can probably see where some of the frustrations come through sometimes. Can't afford to be giving those away in front of goal, so it'll be Kirshner, the captain. Could just really put through a captain's goal here for Walkerville and just start pushing out that lead for the Cats. Sends it through, and that's a beautiful kick straight through the middle. Kirshner kicks the goal for the Cats.
A bit of afters there. He kind of went up to the person on the mark there and gave him a bit. So really enjoyed that goal, but does extend the lead even more. But that is now 24 minutes played on the Sportal scoreboard. So like we said, thanks to Sportal, go on the app, watch the live stream. You can see the scores. You can see all our wonderful sponsors as well who make all this possible. So back in the middle now, ball goes up. Not too long to play, I'd say, in this match, as a high free kick was given. Again, a little bit unlucky there for Morphettville. The player slipped and then got hit in the head, but they still hit him in the head. So they will get the clearance here straight from the centre, long into the 50. A few players there, goes over all the defenders to Duggan again, who reads the play so well. Trying to find the mark, but just couldn't, as Walkerville will have a few more numbers here in their own forward line. Chips it round a little bit backwards, but works out well to find the mark inside the 50. So well played there by a Walkerville attacker to not blaze away and shoot, or not kick it into the dangerous spot, because he saw the uncontested mark that was available for him. And we'll have another shot here, this time by Reardon. So I've seen him do a few nice things outside the 50, so I think he can make the distance. I saw a big kick from him earlier, so he'll line up about, like I said, 50 metres out, 45-degree angle. Does make the distance easy, and he loves it, straight through the middle, and another goal for Walkerville. So that makes it 5 goals this quarter to the 1 for Morphettville. So really dominating this quarter, especially on the scoreboard, and making the most of the play they have around the field, getting their 5th for the quarter. 6 goals for the quarter, apparently. So yeah, 6 goals. That's even more. So for Reardon to get that goal from the 50, we're back through in the middle.
We are, and they're just, as you said, the scoreboard is what counts, and they're absolutely piling it on at the moment, our Walkerville. They go straight inside 50 again. They've got to work hard here to the Morphettville defenders. They held up well in the first quarter, but they've really been tested in this second. They're trying to push forward again here, Walkerville, just playing a lot more attacking footy, which is good to see. We saw in the first quarter they were struggling to get goals outside of set shots, but looking a lot more to play on and run on here. The stoppage again, but the siren will beat us to it. So as we get to half-time here, Walkerville dominant quarter, 9-4-58, leading Morphettville pretty comfortably at 4-5-29.
Yeah, so the scoreboard definitely dominant there, 6 goals to 1, and around the ground it wasn't too dominant in my opinion, but just in the attacking 50, when they went forward, they made the most of it and were really efficient getting those goals. And they had a few tricky shots, one from the boundary line, a few from 50 metres, and they still managed to make the most of it. So, so for that, they get the lead and extend their lead for this second quarter. We'll be back after these few messages with a bit of a wrap-up to start the third quarter. Thanks for watching on the Sportal app, and be back soon.
9 News, teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
News, teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
9 News, teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Welcome back. We're underway here. Morphettville versus Walkerville as they quickly get the ball forward and have a big snap at goal and scoring. So as soon as we're back into the action, some action does happen. If you want to flip it like that, and a very big snap, left foot snap from about 50 metres out, straight through the goals. Very quick start by Morphettville, to get the goal, and very much needed for them to kick the first goal of the game, of the quarter.
Oh, absolutely. They've come out firing, and I did notice at half-time the captain, Doak, brought them all in before they went, and they had a big huddle before they went in at half-time. So obviously some strong words have been said at the break, and they've come out absolutely firing. So we'll see how they continue to respond in this quarter. They've started it well already, Morphettville. Just having another stoppage in the middle of the ground here. It's with Zwar again. He's trying to rove his own ball. Francis just dived straight into the tackler and Hankin. Crowd wanted ball, but they're not getting it, so we'll have another stoppage here. Straight away, the lights have come on here at Morphettville as well. Zwar again got his hands to it, and the kick from Morphettville, who roved it, was just wayward, so it'll be a free kick here to Walkerville as they look to go forward.
We were a bit delayed to get going, but because of some of the ads on your screen, but it was good. We got straight into the action. I don't mind that, off to a running start, I'd say, as the ball does go forward, but a free kick is found and given to Walkerville. So not the cleanest kick from them, but they do get rewarded with a free kick. So Kershaw now, the captain, into the 50. Bit outnumbered, good punch from the defender out the back as they try and clear the ball here. Duggan is in there, and a few other names we've been calling all day, but the ball does go out here, and I believe it will be for Morphettville with the last kick. So
yeah, well, Boston kicked it straight into the gum tree here at Morphettville, so not his best kick of the day by far. He's had 3 goals today. He won't like to remember that one, but it's Morphettville here. Moriarty tries to go into the middle. Just their skills have been a little bit off at times here today, Morphettville, and Walkerville will make them pay if they get the chance, but they try and wrap it up again. Burns was in the middle there, holding the ball advantage. Here goes Walkerville. They got 1 free in the 50, and they just take the nice easy kick, and they'll get a shot on at goal through colour.
yeah, they got a free kick actually, but they took the advantage well. Good decision to take the advantage, to caught the Morphettville defence a bit sleeping as they rushed that free kick and took the advantage. So he'll have a shot here about 40 metres out, straight in front.
So it's Colour. Not on the scoreboard as yet today, but he's directly in front and he kicks it straight through. So that's a goal to Colour. So Walkerville respond. They move to 10-4-64. Morphettville 5-5-35.
Walkerville and their coach Ryan Madden will be very pleased with that one, to be winning at half-time and then conceding the first goal so quickly. He'll be happy that they responded and equalised the goal tally for this quarter. So 1 goal apiece as we're back into the centre. I think they're using a different centre square this quarter. They're a bit closer to us, I realise. So the ball is now on the floor, dribbling all over the place in the box. A few soccer kicks and a few big tackles, and it wrapped up. So another throw in, big tackle there by Tui. I've really enjoyed his game as well. He's been working hard, taking tackles, marking well as well. So he got the tackle on that occasion, which causes the restart in play. The ball goes up, Ruckman in front, but couldn't take the advantage as just goes on the ground, and another big tackle which causes a hold in the ball. Very nicely played there. They play on quickly into the 50. A few people there trying to get the ball. Finds another one of the long sleeve forwards, which gives the snap. Good snap there by Cook, who kicks it into the 50. Cannot find anyone, unfortunately, on that occasion, but Doak has been circling. He had the ball earlier, and again, nearly on that occasion, he's circling, really wants to put his impact on this match. They do get a stoppage just inside their 50. Doak in the ruck again, so good call by Beck earlier to notice that. He's probably a midfielder, but helping out in the ruck on this occasion as the ball gets restarted again. A few stoppages inside the 50.
Yeah, Doak's got a lot of strength, so I think it's a good match-up in there, just to put a little bit of pressure on Zwar there, who's just getting first hands to it every time. And Doak's been everywhere to start this quarter. You see him in there, he's just trying to get in the way. It's Walkerville now, but Morphettville's ready to pounce on it. Here they go, it was with Oliver. He's holding the ball. Umpire's been so hot on that all day. Really noticed that coming through. It was with Colour, the last goal scorer. Looked to line up a teammate there, and Kenny just couldn't quite get it. The pressure's on now. It's holding the ball once again. So we know the umpire's all over that. A little bit slow to get up there was the Walkerville player, but they've got to go now. They've got to score a goal here. They just Can't let Walkerville run away with this game. It's all scoreboard pressure. Trembath almost went up there. Umpire says there's a free kick there. Maybe it was unrealistic. I thought it... Maybe it was. So it's Walkerville sending it in. There's Morphettville defenders everywhere. It's almost a 4-on-2 situation. Looking around for it now, sends the quick kick out. No one's under it. Can they work with this advantage here? The bounce favours Walkerville in the end. And Mark will be taken there from Manning. He just needs to settle it now. He plays on anyway, and it's just not the right choice. Straight into the hands of Hankin for the Roos. He's sending it long. There's 2-on-1, 3-on-1 there to the advantage of Walkerville. But it's taken out. He's stolen it. He's put it through for a goal. Trembath, where did he come from? Took it out of the air and just popped it through. Amazing play there by the Roos.
Yeah, well called. Popped up like a sprinkler, picked it up and snapped it. And a much needed goal. Like you said, there were 5 goals of difference. To make it 4 is a big difference. Yeah, and as you can see now on the Sportal scoreboard, they've actually got the stream up on there. So all the big crowd in today, the home crowd, can see the replay of that wonderful goal. Very good technology here, thanks to the big sponsor of Sportal, innovating the game and innovating local footy. As we're back in the middle now, back to the congested stuff. So from that wonderful goal, back to a congested, and into the middle here, right on the cricket pitch. The ruckman now, Doak is out of the ruck, the other ruckman is back, so that was number 26 in Riley Smith. He's a bit skinnier than Swars, so he's been getting dominated. I agree with you, going back to Doak might be the play in this occasion, because they do get the clearance, but it does get rebounded, and a free kick there, bit of push after he gave away the free kick. They wanted 25 but didn't get it as they looked to clear it. So Colour here again, he's been good this quarter, got a goal and a few big occasions, kicks it on the wing very accurately to find the player right in front of us, right in front of this very nice grandstand here at Morphettville.
We've got a bit of a blind spot there, so we've just seen the ball launch out from underneath us. Mark almost taken there by Walkerville, but the hard work's done in the end by Morphettville. Doesn't come to a lot in the end though, so they have to try again. There's just players coming at them everywhere. Don't think it's coming out there at all, so the umpire's going to have to get involved. So it was with Cock, he was under siege there. He was trying his hardest to just bustle through, but unable to. So we'll be in the stoppage again now. Swar just taking his own footy. Here go Walkerville. The kick came out through McKay. Not really going anywhere though, to no advantage. We're right at the boundary line. We're going to have a stoppage here, whether it's boundary or just wrapped up. So getting a bit frantic around the footy here. You can hear the noise through the window here where we're sitting. So just, getting a bit frantic out there. A lot of voice. Someone just trying to get a one-up here. Rowe was trying to push through there. It was a bit quiet in the second quarter, but it might be coming through for another big quarter in the midfield.
Yeah, you can see the intensity has arisen with Morphettville only being 4 goals behind, but the clock is ticking, so they really want to get the next one, really want to get back on top, get the momentum up, and as they do get a clearance here, but does find the defender who reads it well into the 50 metres now for Walkerville. Mark dropped. The bit of congestion, the free kick has been found and given to the Walkerville player. So it is Colour here who gets the free kick. Even some of the Walkerville players were lining up on the opposite side thinking they're giving away the free kick, but it is not the case. He'll have a shot here about 40 metres out, 45-degree angle. He's already got a goal this quarter, so looking to double his score. A few players lurking, wanting a handball, but decides he could go himself. Running in now, kicks it neatly. Will it make the distance? Not quite. Trying to get punched over the line, and it does eventually go over the line for a behind. So the first behind of this quarter. Either way, they've been quite accurate. So Walkerville last week actually kicked 19 behind. So coming into this match, I was looking for that, but they've actually been quite accurate, only getting 5. So a good work on them to improve from last week, as it does go back into the middle of the field, and again it's very congested, and both teams not wanting to give away any metres here, which sometimes is a good thing, but also doesn't help in the attacking form. But they do find some space here, and long kick, a little bit of a pass, but 2v1, and Duggan reads it well again. I've really enjoyed Duggan. I've mentioned him a few times, and a beautiful intercept mark, and also a good kick to find his teammate in Kenny.
So, goal again. They're not quite sure where to go here, Morphettville. They've got to go through the centre. Can be dangerous, but you can get rewarded for it. It's not to be, so it was through Mars, sent it through to his teammate. They were looking for Boston. He tries to keep going. He didn't take the mark. They're going again, but Morphettville, they've got defenders everywhere. I thought that was a mark, so must have missed that one. Touched off the boot. They were set up well again, Morphettville. Just unable to come out with it, so we'll have a stoppage about 30 metres out from the Walkerville goal. Who's going to get first hands to it? Bit going on in there. The ball's come out. Nice dive to try and save it, and it will go across for the rush. So Morphettville just saving a goal there. They did pretty well to just come out with the point. So they go to 6-5-41, still trailing Walkerville 10-6-66.
Yeah, the Roos defender leaped like a goalkeeper, to be honest, and just got the touch on it before it went over the line. Well done by him to save a goal. And I was curious to see what happened from that stoppage. We saw a few stoppages in that kind of area in the second quarter, and I wonder if the coach told them about it. But they do chip it about now, Walkerville. Again, probably a little bit cleaner with their kicking efficiency and finding marks around the ground. They mark it straight in front, 50 metres out. We have to kick it from about 55. He's standing where they start the match, right in the middle of the centre square, centre circle. So that just shows you the dimensions of this ground, but they're playing it well so far. Big, high, long kick, but won't make the distance. Big pack forming, and well read by the Morphettville defender there, marking it and saving that situation, diffusing the tension as they find a target on the wing, beautifully kicked and marked by Clark. He had a goal earlier in this match, and now he's marked it in the defensive half of the ground. Again, looking down the field, not too many options. Long, high kick. Few big Walkerville players there, and others forming to try and clear it. As the ball is near the boundary line, but not over yet, and now it does trickle over for a boundary throw-in.
They did well to get the stoppage there, Morphettville. They were a bit outnumbered, and it would have been easy for Walkerville to just get that quick kick out, but they've managed to hold it just in their half of the ground. Still just really under siege here. Both teams, there's just a lot of pressure both ways. Just who can come out with the clean hand, just very fumbly both ways. A lot of tackling, a lot of bumping, a lot of pushing, and not much clean disposal to be seen there at all, but at least about 40 or so metres gained. But it must have come off a boot here because the free kick is with Morphettville. So they'll be just on their defensive 50 line when they kick it in. They've got to find a target here. This is where they've struggled. It's not to be, but they'll end up with the stoppage. So again, just gaining that little bit of distance there. That'll do if they can't get the mark. We'll have a throw in right in front of our commentary position here as we see the ball just pop up in front of us. It's a great view here we've got with a little bit of height above the Morphettville bench. Almost tried to soccer it there was Duggan, couldn't quite get to it. It'll be with Kirshner, the captain. It's a one-on-one. Boston's there, but he's held well in defence there by Moriarty. Great one-on-one contest there. Really enjoyed that. Just good one-on-one attack versus defence. That'd be a bit high, surely. No, umpire didn't think so. So it's Walkerville again. They're just sending it back into that 50. Still looking for Boston. The kick was a bit off, but Mars there. He's lurking. He's kept his feet. He's socketed it off the ground, but it's gone round the back of the post there. Just try to be a little bit too tricky there. So just the single point there to Mar.
Yeah, very creative. He tried a snap, he tried a soccer kick, and then another soccer kick right from the boundary line. Would have been amazing if it went through, but no luck this time. As we mentioned, a lot of congestion around. It's a good thing if you don't want the ball to move too far, but when you need a goal, like Morphettville needs some goals now, I would suggest just spreading out a little bit, giving each other space, because when we've seen they take on the game, they're running, they've been very dangerous and hard to defend against, so they should try to get back to that, in my opinion, but the ball goes now towards the wing, and Mar is there as well, again, to see it over the line. 50-50 ball, so it will be a boundary throw-in. Oliver now in the ruck against Zwar. That's the third different ruck combination I've seen. There might have been more, but it does fall down to Kirshner, the captain, who kicks it long and high, more than long actually, and does find Martin, the defender there with the helmet. Not the best kick, over the top of everyone, racing to the boundary line, but they do keep it in. Nice clean hands. McKay finds his teammate, who does try and kick it into the 50, but to no one in particular. Right across the boundary line, there's Doug in there, there's Martin again, who do clear it once again, but to no one in particular. Finds some of the teammates around the back of the pack, who quickly plays on, turns around, spins, one-on-one in the 50. Does well in that situation to try and keep the ball in their 50, but the rebounding players and the run off the half-back has been very impressive by Walkerville to get the clearance and also find a mark, relieve the pressure. But they do play on, which goes over the top of everyone, and he slips in a bit of the mud on the interchange bench, and it goes out for another boundary throw-in.
Probably a bit of a missed opportunity there for Morphettville not to lock it in and try and get a goal. So they got to go into attack again. Here they go. What they do with it? It's a 3-4-on-1 in the 50 there. Those forwards have got to push back for the ruse. Got to do a bit more hard running there on the attack. Walkerville. Here they go. Send it long. Bang through the back goes Clark, but it's a mark. It'll be taken by Smith. Goes to load up in the direction of Boston, but he's in a 2-on-1. He's absolutely wrapped up by Martin. What a great tackle, because you just don't want to leave Boston there with the advantage. So did very well there in the contest. Here they go again. The ball spills out the back of the pack. Walkerville ready to jump on it. Not quite sure how he got rid of the ball there, Smith. But we're playing on. They're still trying to push forward, Walkerville. Very attacking mindset. You can see they just want to push forward at all costs. They're trying to turn it around here, Morphettville. Very much against the grain here. And again, they just don't have the numbers at the back. It still comes through Mensforth though somehow, but there's cats everywhere. And they're just ready to mop it up. They've got good structure down there. They're always ready for it. Goes in direction of Ma. He ends up having to be the tackler, and again, we'll just have a stoppage, middle of the ground.
Yes, well called, because to be honest, the Morphettville defence has been under pressure, but they've been doing all right to get the clearances out, but that kick just doesn't find anyone. It just goes to no one in particular, goes to a big pack of players, and they just can't get the ball forward. But on this occasion, they do get a kick into the 50, a rare kick into the 50, but like you said, they're organised in defence, but has given away the push in the back, so a very unnecessary free kick there. They had about 4-5-2. Their structure had everyone back and ready to mark the ball, which they actually did mark it, but giving away the push in the back. As you can see now on your screen, the Sportal scoreboard is showing a replay of that moment. So thanks to Sportal, our sponsors, they've got this innovative technology that they can actually show replays to the crowd here. And the Morphettville crowd are loving the replays, as he has a kick from 50 metres out and sails through. So a much needed goal against the grain. A bit luck to get the push in the back when it probably didn't need to be given because of how many players were that back there. But a beautiful kick, and makes the most of it, which is exactly what you want to see from Morphettville Park. And now the replay being shown to everyone at Sportal here. So a much needed goal, I believe, by Trembath, who gets his fourth for the day. So yeah, he's been the most crucial player for them, kicking that goal. Very important goal, brings it back to a 3-goal difference as they get the clearance again. So much better now to actually get the ball into their 50. They are dangerous when he goes down there cleanly, which just hasn't enough, and a stoppage in the 50.
Yeah, they seem to be playing with an extra number in defence, Walkerville, and Morphettville sort of just playing into their hands there. Like you said, I think they need to go back to that play on football. That's where they're doing well. Well done there by Clark, just really tried to hunt down the Walkerville attack. A few numbers around the ball here, almost both going for it from the same team there, Morphettville. Just needed a bit of chat there. But we'll have a stoppage here. If they can get to the advantage, they've got numbers in their forward line here, Morphettville. So ball doesn't go too far at all. We'll have another stoppage. Be interesting to see where it goes here. Again, you can see that extra man in defence for Walkerville. So if the Roos get it out here, they're going to have to find a target. They can't just afford to bomb it in. And we're still not getting very far here at all. We've been stuck in a little 3x3 metre square. Umpire's trying to get the numbers out of there so we can get a bit of a clearance. It's not going to happen. We're going to be wrapped up again. 4 or 5 stoppages here just in that same area. That grass is going to get chewed up. Umpire throws it up again. Hopefully he gets to move. The quick kick comes out through the Cats. We can see Doak trying to push through there, and now he's laying the tackle. Umpire says, I'll have it. We'll have yet another stoppage, but we have at least moved a bit down the ground this time, Jad.
Yeah, I think as the quarter going on, they're getting a bit more tired, the players, and it's becoming a bit more congested, and as well as not wanting to concede. But they do get the clearance here. Big kick by Kirshner, who makes the distance but just wide. So the captain really trying to wrestle back the momentum. That's 4 behinds his quarter. So I talked about how they've been kicking it well and almost jinxed them, as they do have 4 behinds this quarter to that 1 goal this quarter for the Walkerville. So again, they just bomb it out onto the wing. Few clean handballs though, however, and they do find the clearance, and it kicks it towards Finn, who just cannot get it, but keeps on going. Soccer kicks it forward is Finn, so even though the ball ran past him, he popped back up and nearly got the ball into the 50, but it is another throw by the umpire here. And going at it again is the 2 ruckmen, as the Cats handball it over the top of the whole pack, finds the teammates, now finding it to McKay, to Ma looking up, taking his time to find the right option, decides to go into the pocket, takes 1 bounce and rolls over. So it will be a last man kick, but it was probably the right idea, just a very dangerous position, but just could not find the target.
Yeah, probably just needed to go inboard a little bit more so the forwards could run onto it, but he can always blame the wind if the kick doesn't go where he thought. They tried to clear it out there, Morphettville, but Walkerville have pushed back. Look to go inside 50 again. It's right at the top of the 50. Who's going to get first hands to it? Ball in dispute. We'll have another stoppage here, and that will be 3-quarter time here. So strong quarter from the Roos there. They've pulled back that lead a bit now. They're on 7-5-47, still trailing Walkerville 10-8-68, but they did win that quarter, the Roos, so there's a little bit of fire there. They'd probably be disappointed they didn't get a few more scores, but I think they would be happy with how that went, Chad.
Yeah, I think they'll be extremely happy, to be honest, because 3-1, although the ball was in the Walkerville 50 a lot, so they did get 4 behinds, couldn't make the most of the entries, but that's not always footy. That's what happens in footy. You go forward, you take the most of the opportunities. 3-1 that quarter, and pegging them back a bit. Big final quarter coming up, and after these ad breaks, we'll be right here to cover it all.
9 News, teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put...
Oh, sure. We're back here for the last quarter at Morphettville. Be interesting to see how we finish here. A lot of pressure in that third quarter. Morphettville really looking to bring on the comeback here. We saw them kick an early goal in the third term, so can they do the same again? Ball sort of in dispute but being pushed forward towards Walkerville. As I say that, it gets kicked out towards the Ruse end, but Walkerville all over it with Kellett, now with Richmond, and now with the boundary.
Yeah, the boundary's got a few touches today, as they get, as they get ready to throw it back in here. The big ruckman right in the front again gets the tap down, but to this time cannot go far as McDermott looks up, about to kick it, but does get tackled. Didn't have the ball that long, so it will be a throw up. So the umpire will throw this one up. And mismatch in the ruck again continues. He's really like a foot bigger than everyone else, it seems, or that's the way he's playing anyways, as the ball finds its way towards the forward half for Morphettville, and another stoppage. as we look to get on the way in this last quarter. So 21 points the difference. Very interesting quarter coming up. Could be a big quarter for finals in Div 4 of the Adelaide Footy League. Walkerville do find a clearance. Morphettville first there, but is pressured and cannot do too much with it. Does find a handball somehow, but the ball trickles over for another boundary throw-in.
Yeah, and Walkerville could really push themselves up the ladder with a win here. As we discussed at the start of the game, it's very tight in the middle of the ladder, so depending on other results today, could be a huge move from Walkerville, who were 7th coming into this game. Crowd's starting to get very vocal. They can still feel that Morphettville are in this if they can snag an early goal here, because they're going to be racing against the clock if they don't start getting some goals soon. And you can see the desperation here by both sides. I think we're going to have a lot of stoppages this quarter. You thought there were a lot last quarter. I think we're going to see even more in the final term here. So, bit of a fly there from Riley Smith. He finally got higher than Zwar for the first time today. We'll have another stoppage here, so we'll see how the rucks go this time. But maybe changing his tactics a little bit here, Smith. So we'll have the stoppage just in front of our commentary spot here. No, it's Zwar this time with hands to it, but he puts it in the hands of Hankin for the opposition. Morphettville looking to go forward there. Wanted the one-handed mark there, did Doak. But he'll still be involved. That's the part of the game I like from Doak, the captain. If he, doesn't quite get the possession, he will lay that next tackle. It's those second efforts, it's those third efforts. He leads by example clearly. So we're just inside at the 50 now. What's going to happen? Look for the quick clearance there, did Walkerville. Good smother. It was with men's fourth. He's sending it long. It's a one-on-one. Is it a mark? It's a mark! So first shot of the quarter, it's going to go the way of Morphettville. Just going to see who's got it in the hands here. It's a bit far away. Just eluding me at the moment. But good fast play there from the Roos. They'll get the shot here. Bit of a 45-degree angle, you'd think. He should kick from not too far out based on the mark. So kick from probably about 30 metres, just leans back, puts it straight through. First blood goes to Morphettville, and we saw this last quarter, so can they keep it up and keep pushing it towards the Walkerville score?
Yeah, huge goal, that one. They really needed the first of that quarter. Brings the margin back down, and really important for that one. And a pretty rare mark inside the 50. We haven't seen them mark too many inside the 50. They've been, it was a one-on-one on that occasion. They got the mark. They've been a bit outnumbered, and the defence of Walkerville has been organised. But on that occasion, it's not. And if they can get a few marks like that, they could go a long way of coming back and winning this match. As we get a repeat stoppage now in the middle of this field. Getting darker here in Morphettville. It is winter time, of course. We do love winter footy. It does get darker, however, but they do have good facilities. The lights are on and ready for some action here. Big final quarter underway. Game still in the balance. Anyone's to win. And Walkerville team is sitting in 8th, like we mentioned, but really playing well, and just shows how strong and even this division is. Work well done there by Calorie to get few plays to get the clearance, but cannot make it touch any target, and that way they get a kick. So a last possession rule. The ball's just gone on the road, so one of the spectators jumped the fence, gone to receive it, and could not kick it further enough to get it to the player. He actually missed his foot altogether. So a bit of a delay, but Duggan has the ball now in the defence and clears it onto the wing. A few players there, and a big mark though by the Walkerville player. So that is Rowe, who was a bit quiet in the third, but has an influence now. Finds the mark inside the 50, just inside the 50, with Kenny. So he's been good as well. And a few of the bigger names now for Walker really showing their worth and stepping up in the last quarter. with Rowe taking a big mark on the wing and finding Kenny. From about 50, long, high kick. Umpire does not move, goes right over his head and kicks it. Very big kick and a huge goal from 50 metres out.
Yeah, great work there by Kenny. Just absolutely launched it long and high and put it through. And similar to what we saw in the third quarter where Morphettville came out the blocks, kicked a goal, Walkerville have worked one straight back, which is what the Roos would have wanted to avoid because it's going to make things a lot more difficult for them. But it's Walkerville maintaining their lead.
Over there, he's trying to fix it.
So back in the middle of the ground, Zwar again, first hands to it. He was looking for McKay in the midfield there. He just overran it. You think they'll try and run the play again? So have another stoppage just outside of the smaller circle there in the middle of the ground. Zwar there again, just couldn't quite pick up a teammate. It went to Paik in the end. It's now in the hands of Hankin. We've seen him in and around the ball all day. Ball sort of went to no one there. Mensforth had to work hard and he's still working hard. Great block there was put on by Martin, his teammate. And that's a mark, surely, umpire. It is. So mark there goes to McDermott. I just had to talk him into it. McDermott sends it long. Who's going to be under it? There's a few forwards. Mensforth had it. It's gone through. Would you believe it? Just from right out wide, Mensforth. He worked hard in defence and he's worked hard in attack and bang, gone through. What a kick, Jad.
Yeah, amazing goal. Right on the boundary line, dribbled it through. The defender tried to be the goalkeeper and get a touch to it, but just couldn't. It was just perfectly placed, just away from the defender. And then, yeah, like we've been saying, like that in the last quarter would have been outnumbered by Walkerville, easily cleared. But they've worked hard, got equal numbers back there, manning up and really putting pressure on the Walkerville defence, and couldn't take a mark, couldn't clear it. Finds Mensforth, who kicks a miraculous goal, but it's really the hard work of all the players there to create the even numbers in their attack. And when they're running and when they're taking the game on, they've been super dangerous to get that goal. It is example of that is when they just got that goal right then. So yeah, back in the middle now. The ruck has also been evened up a bit, to be honest. They've really doing well here. Walkerville to keep themselves in it. They kick it long and find Trembath, who has 4. He's wanted to shoot, I think, but found someone a little bit closer, about 50 metres out. He'll go back, looking to kick it now. So he's lining up 15 metres out, basically straight in front. Trembath had a kick a bit further out, found this guy, so a bit of pressure from the 4-goal kicker to kick this. Kicks it long and high, doesn't make the distance, however. That was Peach, cleared out slightly but pushed off. So he's about to clear it with a soccer kick, but got pushed off. So good pressure there to do that fairly, but it is eventually cleared out. But Morphettville playing a bit of the Walkerville game, really setting up well behind the ball and moving the ball nicely by handballs and kicks, trying to get it forward again. Ma, who actually was the one that trying to clear it from defence, pushed a lot. Big collision in the middle, but no advantage for either team, so it's play on, but now a big tackle brings a stoppage right in the box. So a bit of a frantic few minutes, and it ends with a stoppage like we're used to.
Yeah, that's it. It was very frantic. No one able to just get 2 hands to it and, make a clean decision. Bang goes through. That was Mara, I think. And is it Boston? Is he back in the game? Has the umpire called it a mark? He has. He just had a little bit of think about it there for a minute. But Marta Boston, it was a bit quiet in that third quarter, but he is sitting on 3 goals. We have seen him kick a goal from this end at a lot more difficult angle, so you'd think you'd have to back him in from here, Jad.
Yeah, for sure.
So Boston loads up. Does it go through? The umpire says, not this time, Boston, so just be the point there to Walkerville. Could make all the difference at the moment. This game very much still in the balance.
Yeah, Boston with his outreached arms. I don't know how we marked that. He's usually the shorter person in the contest, but still finds the marks.
So they go to clear it out now. Oh, and the mark's taken there by Doak. He's stood up all day. A great leader, great captain for this club. And another mark. No, almost marked to Trembath. Here he goes. Oh, he's held off it, but it was holding the ball beforehand. So here we go. Things are starting to get a little bit more passionate out there on the field. Few little jumper pulls, bit of push and shove. Everyone knows that this game is very much still in the balance. Ball's with Walkerville. Nice high kick. We'll kick into a pack here. Mark almost taken there by Mensforth, who kicked that miraculous goal a little bit earlier for the Roos. Nearly had another moment there. Stoppage goes up. It's Zwar to Ma. Rolls nicely off the tongue. And they've kicked it right into this little blind spot we've got here, but it's back in view. There he is again, Doak, just laying an absolute hurler of a tackle. No one can push through here. The tackle pressure from Morphettville right now is huge. And that should be a throw-in, I believe. Oh, no, it's a free kick.
Yeah, last man goes to Hankin, who's been good this quarter, really running hard for his team. "12 minutes played in this final quarter. The pressure and really ramping up, the tension ramping up, the ball in the 50 metres for Morphettville, really looking for a goal. Nearly took a few marks there, but no one really took it cleanly, and it will be ball up about 40 metres out from Morphettville's goal. We haven't seen too many ball ups in their 50. We've seen heaps in Walkerville, so it'll be interesting to see what they can do with this. The ball goes up and soccer kicked out by Walkerville. Few players from either team there, really congested once again. No one wanting to lose that battle.
They aren't. Margin remains at 16 points. So they need 3 goals here to get in front, do Morphettville. The big last few minutes of this quarter. Swire out the back, but it's just slapped forward by Morphettville. They're looking to go forward any way they can. And it's cut off again. Nice mark there taken by Kidney. He's going to think about it, just take his time. Gets ready to send it long. Looked like he lowered the eyes there. He had someone in mind, just not able to hit the target. Great smother though has been laid in there by Clark. So just you can feel the desperation from Morphettville just to lock it in their 50 at the moment.
Yeah, Clark's really been good with that pressure. You see him all around buzzing, trying to get smothers, and on occasion, beautiful smother, locks it in their 50, which is so important at this stage of the game. The ball falls down now to one of the crumbing players. He kicks it and goal! So very quickly, like I said, locks it in their 50, found the ball, found the snap, and that's another goal for Morphettville. I believe that is their captain. I might be wrong there, but either way, it doesn't matter. It's a team game in the end, and they kicked a beautiful goal there. So the pressure is very important in footy these days. They kept the ball in their 50. The stoppage happened, and from that they found the goal to bring them up to 10-5, 65. They're only losing by 10 points, 11-9, 75. We've really got a game on here.
Yeah, 10 points in at about 9 or so minutes to go, so this game is very much alive. Who's going to step up here? Well, for now it's Mensforth. We've seen what he can do, just absolutely laces out McDermott. McDermott goes, the kick is a bit off there, he's got to keep it in and touch it. I think it's Jenkins who's put the number 10 back on. He started in 28. Looks like he did get hands to it, Jenkins, so that makes all the difference. That could have been a free kick, and now it'll be a stoppage. Tries to kick it out. From the stoppage was Tui. God, had 2 almost moments there. He just chucked it on the boot, but we'll have another stoppage. Similar situation where mid inside the Morphettville 50. Zwar getting hands to it. We've seen him do it all day. McDermott was trying to jump on it there. So was Kidney. Everyone's trying to jump on it. Ends up in the hands of the Walkerville Cats. But they're under pressure. The kick goes straight in the air. Who's going to get under it? Both teams try for it, but no one's getting it. It's with Ma now. Walkerville, they got to push forward, but the hands were fumbly. No one was quite ready to take it, and we'll end up with a throw-in, which is probably the better result for for Morphettville, sorry.
Yeah, they've done well to lock it in their 50, also in their half. They couldn't really do that in their last quarter, few quarters, but this quarter they've been really good at just keeping the pressure on. But in this occasion, similar situation. They're about to clear at Walkerville, but a big pressure, big tackle, keeps it in their 50. Hankin now again into the forward areas, but was marked, intercepted, and a little bit of a bump after. Gets the 25, and another 25 as he's running to the spot. A bit of a brain fade by Doak, the captain. Bumps him on the way to on his run to the extra 25, so it's a 50-metre penalty. We're going full AFL style today in Div 4 Adelaide Footy League. The ball with Manning, who took the initial intercept mark, kicks it high up into a dangerous position. A few players there and does find a mark, so no one touched it on the way down, and it found the player there for a mark. So Manning takes the intercept mark, get the 50-metre pen, and then penalty, and then a few players there trying to mark it, trying to punch it. Didn't really happen. I think
Maybe Mackenzie, but I'll have to confirm.
he runs in now, not far away from goal, and does slot it home. So that 50-metre penalty, the 225s, does become costly as they get the goal now to extend their lead to 16 points. So it was Mackenzie, that one. He almost marked it as if it was Boston. I thought it was Boston, by the way. He got that mark and that goal. So well done to Mackenzie. Really crucial goal. Bit of a brain fade by the captain there. The coach won't be too happy with that, especially this late on.
Yeah, just a bit silly there in the end. The first one, I think you could forgive, just giving a bit of what for afterwards, but the second one didn't need to be there, and it could change the tune of this game a lot now. The margin was 10 points. That'll push it out to 16. It goes straight back into the Walkerville forward line. Might get them a little bit of energy, bit of momentum here for Walkerville. They just try and keep it in there, but they're pushing hard as Morphettville. It's cut off again. It's in the hands of Walkerville still. Little snap comes off the boot, and that was by Papa Georgios, sorry about that, but I believe that was him. Quick little snap there, finishes it off, and it's another goal to Walkerville. So we're left thinking what might have been in this game here. We got down to the 10-point margin here, but it's probably going to be finished off nicely here, you'd think, by Walkerville.
Yeah, and credit to Walkerville. They were pressured and they were professional to find a way to stem the bleeding and find the goals, which to almost, you'd think, put it out of play here. Still a bit of time, but I think, especially after those 225s, it almost like took the wind out of the sail a bit of Morphettville. But you never give up in footy, and we've seen how fast they can kick goals.
Yeah, absolutely. This stoppage is going to be huge here, this centre clearance, and Reardon was absolutely under siege there, so you can see they're still fighting here, Morphettville. They've made it a bit more difficult for themselves than it should have been. They're going to have to work really hard here. Not much time left in this game. They just have to score quickly and score accurately. And see Mensforth in there just trying to make it all happen for his team again. McDermott in the long sleeves pushes it out towards the pocket, but nice mark under pressure taken by Richmond for Walkerville. Real clutch moment there. You like defenders who can do those kind of things under pressure. Goes in the direction of Reardon again. He's worked pretty hard today. He's been up and amongst it. Reardon. Oh, the intercept there. Well played there by Morphettville. They're still absolutely desperate for it. We'll have a stoppage here, just in the middle of the ground, to a little bit of advantage of the Walkerville side.
Yeah, it's good to see them still being desperate, still trying to win every ball. They really need to do that if they're going to get the goals needed to get back into this game. Just looking ahead at our player of the match, we have a beautiful Archie's thongs and a Sportal beanie actually for the best player today. Who's some of the names that you really enjoyed watching?
Oh, well, there's probably a lot from both sides. For Morphettville, Trembath has been huge. He's kicked 5 goals by my record. Also, the captain in Doak, he had a bit of a moment there earlier, but I think he's still played very well as well. We coming into the 50 again in the direction of Boston. Been a little bit quiet late in this game, but he's done the damage. They're absolutely under siege here, Morphettville. They've got to get it out of the 50. Burns has to clear it here. Tries to fend off. What's going to happen here? Umpire says it will be a stoppage.
Yeah, he took a bounce and messed it up a bit, but was good effort to follow it up and find the handball so they didn't concede the goal. But it is a stoppage here, deep in there. Walkerville's forward 50, and it's a repeat stoppage. For me, the Walkerville side of it as well, we mentioned a lot the ruckman. He was influential, especially early, to get that happening as Morphettville clear the ball here through Peach to no one in particular onto the wing. And some of the other players, Boston obviously they scored a lot of goals, scored 3 goals again in the early when the game was on the line a bit more. Other players I've liked Kenny, I've liked even Jordan Smith has been quite good. He's quite a skinny fellow, but he really holds his own. As the ball comes deep into the 50, there's a few players there and they do take a mark. So the defender, Morphettville there, takes the mark. Men's fourth, I believe, clears it now. Looking for a mark on the wing. Goes over the top of the pack and they do find that mark. So quickly plays on. Bit of a sideways kick to try and find some space. Switching of play. I like this. They should have switched a bit earlier. And then back to men's force. So it did well to take the mark in defence and now push onto the wing. A lot of players running for him, trying to create space, wanting the ball. Goes to a big pack of players, falls to the ground, trying to clear it. Here is Westbury, and he does. He finds a teammate free. They pushed up so much there was a few free on the outskirts of the 50, but the kick is not the best, and onto the wing to a very 50-50 ball. Good smother there, and big tackle, but it is high. So Manning, who got the free kicks earlier, this time gives away a free kick on the wing with a high tackle.
Yeah, they've got to roll the dice here. They've got to attack Morphettville. The clock's going against them. Just saw them try to launch it forward. Didn't quite come off, but that's the way that they've got to play. If they want to keep themselves in this game, they just got to move it fast and they've got to move it forward. So they try and do the same again. Just not able to get that clean possession. So we'll have a throw in just from the very far wing, right in the middle of the ground. Whoever can get the advantage here, it's going to be big stoppage. They've got to have their moment here, Morphettville, if they want to get back into this game. They were within 10 points. Here they go. Here's that clearance I was asking for. Goes long and high into the 50. Mark not able to be taken. They're trying to crumb it here, Morphettville. Everyone's trying to crumb the crumb. No one's able to in the end, and we end up with a stoppage. But we're in the Morphettville 50. They've got to lock it in here. We've seen them kick quick ones out of the stoppage. Can they do it again? Umpire resets. Ball will just go up. Bit of push and shove in the centre there. Men's fourth, he's been huge. Who's the ball coming out with? It came off the boot of Richmond for Walkerville. Is it going to find the boundary line? Not quite. It does in the end. So we will have another stoppage just right in front of us here at our commentary spot.
Yeah, and some of my favourite players from the second half, I would say there was a few actually. So Reardon was decent, as well as Ma was very good. I didn't see him too much in the first half, but he's been huge to help him get this win. It looks like going to be a win in this second half as the clock ticking down. Not too much time left as it does enter the 50 metres for Walkerville for one, maybe the last time. There he is, Ma, handball over the top, finds Culler, who also has been good this quarter, kicked a goal, but could not do too much with it. and Hankin gets the clearance and the mark. So yeah, thanks to everyone for watching the stream. Nearly finished here today at the Kellett Reserve Oval. Thanks to Sportal, the scoreboard looking beautiful even at night as the ball does go into the middle. Mar again. And there goes the siren confirming the win, the victory here for Walkerville away to Morphettville. The final scores 10-5-65 to the home team, and the winning team today, Walkerville, 13-9-87. Good, highly contested match, this one. The Morphettville really threatened late, coming within 10 points, but the last few goals going the way of Walkerville to seal the deal, and a big win in the context of Div 4 Adelaide Footy League for the finals.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they probably could have been a lot closer and if not won that match. So it's one game all to these two teams this year. Morphettville winning the earlier match in round 2, but Walkerville just a bit more classy, better with their finish and able to just pull the game back on their terms when they needed to.
Yeah, both the away teams winning the fixture between these two, which is quite unusual to see. Some of the goal kickers today, we'll go through them. Jenkins with 2 early goals, was a bit quiet after that, but 2 goals is always a good effort. 1 for Clark, 5 to Tremba, McDermott kicking 1, and Mensforth kicking 1. And for Walkerville?
So Boston with 3, he was pretty active early in the game, pretty quiet in the second half, well held there. 1 to Inglis, 2 to Smith, 2 to Kenny, and further singles to Kirshner, Reardon, Collett, McKenzie, and Papa Giorgio. I've done it again. I've just ruined that again.
It's alright, we'll forgive you. And the final thing before we go, the best player of the day, they win a Archie's thong, thanks to Archie's, and Sportal beanie. We're going to give it to the big ruckman from Walkerville, Brady Zwa. He was dominant all day and really set up that victory early and took marks around the ground, which is always important for ruckman, and really set up that victory for Walkerville. Thanks for watching, everyone. It's been great having you. Really good contested here. Thanks to Sportal for the scoreboard and for having us out in Div 4. It's been a pleasure to commentate with you all.
It sure has been, Jazz. Thanks for having me. Good to see you again. Good to see you back in the country. And I think we saw a great contest here in Division 4. So I'm glad we got this one together today. It was a 22-point win to Walkerville, being the away side. And we see the C grade running out now. We've had, I think, 5 games here all day from the women's all the way through the senior men. So it's been a great day here at Morphettville, and again thanks to Sportal for having us. We'll see you next time.